Okay, we should be live. And I should be able to give you the stream a link. Where do you want it? I guess I'll put it inside here. Oops. Okay, there you go. I don't think that it's coming through though. It's not. Damn, what's going on? You see? It says live, but we're not live.
Hang on a second. Oh, yeah, because there might be a delay.
No. I want to read. This happened the other day as well.
Hang on, let me check the YouTube thing. Hang on a sec. Oh, yeah. It's live in here, but it's not live outside. That's
yeah. And what can I do?
I have seen this before. Other people have had this same problem. I don't know, maybe refresh the page.
Which page? Oh.
Any fucking page.
Let me just refresh this one. Okay, page this. I refreshed this page. Does it make a difference if I?
Lorty knows what to do in this situation. Like, you go back to the page where you created it. You might have set it up where you put it on a timer or something, and you haven't started it.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah. Okay, for me it starts a whole new hangout. I might have to invite you all to it. Oh no. Hold on. Right, should work. All right, dudes, we're live, dude. We're live, everybody.
Yo, what's up?
Excellent. It looks like I have to reset the whole. Oh, it doesn't really matter, I guess. We should be live, right?
No, it's not live on YouTube yet. I think you got to start the YouTube fucking thing.
It is live on YouTube.
It's live in here, but it's not live on YouTube.
Yes, it is.
Let me refresh.
It might not be that same. It might be a whole different stream, though.
I've just got the one where you got Galatians up on the screen there. That's the one I'm looking at now.
No. Go to my homepage or something and start again. In fact, I've got the I've got the page for you. Let me just give it to you here again in the in the inside. Here it is. Bang.
Oh yeah.
Inside. Here it is. Bang. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah. That's it. It's fixed.
Yeah, we be live.
Yeah.
Right. So, give me one moment here. Hello. You are watching The Atheists. We are a hangout group on Google+, and right now we're live. Today, our guest, Christian to ridicule, is, as usual, the leader of Christianity worldwide, globally, Christian Hillbilly, who you can find at www.christianhillbilly.com, where you can find his telephone number if you would like to contact him. He would love to take your call. I might even share that with you in a while. But right now, I would like to present the whole focus of the show, and that is to ask you for your opinion. Is the leader of Christianity, of global Christianity worldwide today, whose name is Christian Hillbilly, is he a true Christian, or is he just a sadist?
Well, let's have a look at the evidence you've got there.
Stay tuned for more.
You decide.
Yeah, well, let's just see. Okay, we've got the evidence up on the screen. Let's go through the evidence.
All right. So now Christian Hillbilly has produced. It's taken a lot of time to produce some really exceptional artwork. The only problem is that I am the target personally. The target of this artwork, and
artwork.
If you look, some people find it actually kind of, I guess, sensual in a way, but me personally, no. So I have a new home, and you can see on the left, it's a, I think it's your left, but on my left, you can see it's a burning lake of fire. And on the right is me being consumed by the flames as I plummet into the burning lake of fire 1 second after death. Now, my question are these two actions the actions of a Christian? And the way we can gauge is
you decide.
The way we can gauge is to actually consult the scriptures that Christian Hillbilly preaches that he's such an expert on, and that he lives the life according to, and see if he's doing that with that here. So,
yes,
to the books, laddies.
So this is what I figured. Now, in order to be a good Christian and go to hell, go to heaven and sit with Jesus, you have to present or have these following internal traits and non-sinful feelings like love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and goodness and faithfulness and gentleness and self-control. Okay, so if you have any of these or all of these, then you're pretty certain to know that you'll be spending eternity with Jesus. However, if you look above at the longer paragraph, we will see if any of these pertain to Christian Hillbilly or any of those in the bottom paragraph pertain to Christian Hillbilly. Okay? All right. So what do you guys, gentlemen, what do you think?
Well, let's start reading from the first paragraph, and we'll go through it line by line, and we'll work this out. We'll just do it the hard way, and just do line by line, and then we can see exactly what's going on here. All right, that's the only way to do it.
Exactly. Good idea.
Yeah.
So you go ahead, because I'm presenting it. I'll moderate. I'll moderate because I'm pretty much the intended victim of death here.
Right. Well, up the top it says, when you follow the desires of your sinful nature, the results are very clear. Right. So here it says in the first chapter, or the first line, I should say, and then let's go through them one by one. Sexual immorality. What have you got to say on that, Sidney?
I think that Jim is very guilty of that.
Mm-hmm.
Fornication, sodomy.
Mm-hmm.
We have a color commentator, by the way. Welcome, Dan. Okay, so carry on.
So impurity, right?
You've been a dirty girl.
I think that Christian Hillbilly is a factory of impurity.
A factory, yes.
A factory.
All right. Lustful pleasures.
Oh my God, he is so into the penis. You have no idea.
Idolatry.
Stroke your
my God, that tattoo.
He loves that. He used to do that for a living.
Idolizes fucking Batman. He's not only does he have the tattoo, right? He's got the matching cape, and he's got the matching fucking everything to do with Batman. He's got the matching fucking everything. He's probably got Batman books, right?
Yes.
Definitely guilty. Definitely, in my eyes, he's definitely guilty of idolatry, right? There's no doubt in my mind. Like the tattoo is a dead giveaway, right? That's idolatry, right? Let's go to the next one. Sorcery. Well, he does try to practice sorcery on you. He says magic words, like whether that's sorcery. I think it is sorcery because he sort of like says, "Oh, you're going to hell." It's like, "Oh, is that a sorcery thing?" He's predicting that you're going to
Harry Potter.
Hostility. Oh my God. Sidney, how many times has he kicked me out of a room? That's
uncountable. Uncountable.
And then he's hostile to everybody in nature. He's hostile. You can see it. You can hear it in his voice. He's over talking, right? He never listens to. He's very hostile to science, right? He tries to manipulate science. That's hostility straight off the bat.
He doesn't. You see, the thing is, he pretends that he knows anything about science, but he calls evolution a lie. See, this is the cognitive dissonance of a man towards not only the reality, the spiritual hoax that he's caught in the web of, but the reality that he lives in and that he denies the tangible existence of. Man is very confused, and if you ask me, I think he has a low capacity of understanding, and that is why he turns to something that is, say, simple-minded, or for the simple-minded, like a religion.
And next one we've got here, quarreling. Well, we know that he quarrels with his wife because that's why his wife left him, right?
Right.
So there's no doubt, and he quarrels with people on the internet all the time, right? That's a, he's guilty of that. Guilty of hostility, guilty of quarreling. Oh, jealousy. Oh my God, jealousy.
Are you kidding me?
And then this next one's outbursts of.
He's jealous of my sexy bod.
Oh my, outbursts of anger. Oh, we've seen that many times on Google Hangouts. The outbursts are just absolute, and that he talks over people. He mutes people. I've seen him. He muted me in a room like 30, 40 fucking times. That's anger. He needs anger management classes for that.
That's anger management.
Chime in on that one. Tell me about his fucking anger. Very angry individual. Very angry. I think he must have been brought up in a very angry household, if you ask me. Very angry.
Must be.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And then we've got and it's so telling too. A 6-year-old would be able to see that outburst of anger that he's got. Outburst of anger. And then we've got next one here, selfish ambition. Well, of course he's got a selfish ambition. He's very selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Never gives.
You know what? If I may add quickly to that, he's very selfish. When we ask him to stop, we accept everything he says, that we're going to hell and we're going to burn in hell if we don't repent. Fine. Yes, I accept it. Yet he carries on, and I asked him to stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he won't stop.
And he won't stop.
He's like he's like a car out of control, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't got any how can I put it? He hasn't got any control over his own body and his mind, right? Oh, it's just terrible. And dissension. Oh my, division. Oh, of course division and dissension. He's got division, the church that he probably goes to, there's probably a lot of division in there as well. Arguing, quarreling.
Is there addition, subtraction, and multiplication as well?
Who knows?
But Tish, that one fell flat.
Envy, right? He probably envies the atheists because they've got it good and he's got it bad, right? He's got a lot of that, I'm skinny, he's fat, envy,
Right.
I'm in good shape, he's in terrible shape, envy, right? Drunkenness. Drunkenness, he gets high on oxygen, that guy. He's actually an oxygen thief.
An oxygen thief, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course he is. And then we've got wild parties. Well, we all know when he used to go to fucking those gay bars and have those parties.
That's not an excuse. I don't think that can excuse him at all.
Yeah, he's had plenty of those wild parties at the gay bars.
Yeah.
He says he only went there for the food. It's like, like the bartender would come up to him and say, "Oh, do you want a drink?" He goes, "Oh no, I'll just have some food and I'll be on my way." Yeah.
Right, indeed.
I don't tell that to the hand, Hillbilly.
Indeed.
And then wild party. And other sins like these, here's the thing: other sins like these. So we can use other things like quarreling, like screaming and shouting would be quarreling. So that's like that. So like he's guilty of all of that, right?
Yep.
Right. So he can't get away from that. And then it says, "Let me tell you again." Right, so we have to tell this to Hillbilly that I think he's on his way to hell, right, for preaching the false gospel and not looking at Galatians 5:19 to 23. He should be doing all of this, but he's doing the opposite to all of this. The opposite. And we've got video evidence, you know, like how many, you know, the screaming and shouting what he does on Hangouts, muting people, booting people out of their own Hangouts, the whole thing, you know. And anyone that live in the sort of life that will not inherit the kingdom of God. So let me go through that last passage again. It says, as I have before, right, that anyone living that sort of life, right, will not inherit the kingdom of God.
Could you hold on a second? I don't think I'm pretty sure I didn't get that, because you're talking about
I'll tell you again. Like it says, and it even says here in the passage, let me tell you again. So in other words, you have to keep repeating it to Hillbilly, because you got to tell him again and again and again and again.
Oh, okay, as you had before, right?
Yeah, so you can't tell him once,
right? Right.
Let me tell you again. Right, yes. So in other words, what the passage is trying to say is, if you don't get it the first time, or the second, or the third, or the fourth, I'm going to tell you again.
Again,
right? That's
okay. Got it. Love it.
That's what that passage means. So you might say, "Oh, you've told me that." And I'll say, "No, I'm going to tell you again." Right?
Yes.
You know, as I have before, that anyone living that sort of life will not inherit the kingdom of God. Now, because Hillbilly, he's guilty of all of these things, you know, sexual immorality, impurity, lustful, idolatry, right? Hostility. You know, some of these things are on a level of 9 and 10. Some of them are, okay, you know, we're not going to be able to prove all these other things because we can't read his mind, but God can, right?
Yes, indeed.
Outbursts of anger, that's just so telling. We've got video evidence of outbursts of anger, right? That's on a scale of 9 and 10 there, straight off the bat, right? You know, quarreling. Oh my God, that never stops with Hillbilly. He's always he never accepts science. Well, and when he does, he says, "Oh, I agree with this, but you know, take away that, and that, and then I'll, you know, he's in cahoots. Or he's not in cahoots. He's at odds with science. You know, so he's quarreling with people every day.
He's at odds with reality.
I agree with that, but inside of reality, which is, you know, then you got science, and then you got, like, you know, geology and all the sciences underneath that. He's at odds with all of it, you know, and that's where the quarreling comes in, right? And outbursts of anger, right? And that God says, don't do that, don't do that. But no, Hillbilly wants to say, you know, like, no, they've got, the sciences are lying. But, you know, what do you think? Do you think every scientist on planet Earth has gone, oh, you know, what do you think the age of the Earth is? You know, like, do you think that they just put their fucking hand in a hat and pick out a fucking number? Do you think that's how it works? No.
Well, he made a claim that he's never lost a debate or an argument to anybody with a PhD.
Oh, right. Is that what he says his claim is?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, in his own little world, right? But we know that he loses debates. That's why the jealousy comes in, the quarreling, the hostility, the dissension, division. You know, all of those things there, right?
Well, about that already made.
You know, hold on. You know how he butts into everybody when they're talking? Like, he never lets anybody finish a sentence without butting in and over talking. Right there, every time, outburst of anger, outburst of anger, outburst of anger, one after the other, like a machine gun.
He needs to dominate the conversation. If he's going to have a conversation, it's very important to him that he's dominating it.
Right. And there's no, see the thing. Now, let's look for love in any of these, in anything. Okay. And are there any signs of love from Christian Hillbilly?
None what I can see.
We got to give him joy, though, because he is getting some kind of sadistic joy out of this. So there we have a bit of a kind of a contradiction. Like, he is getting joy, it's sadistic joy, so it kind of satisfies both sides of the equation, unless, of course, you consider that the joy that is got to be considering is the love of Christ. However, he's showing the joy of sadism. So, okay, no joy, no love. How about peace?
No, he's got no peace. He's always arguing with people. He comes on Google Hangouts and he argues with people all the time. So there's no peace in that, right?
No peace. All right.
Yeah. And he's got no patience, right? Patience.
Well, his patience directly is directly connected to his outbursts of anger. The more outbursts of anger, the less patience, right? That's kind of, there's a connection there. And there are many and extreme outbursts of anger. So there's minimal or zero patience. So no, so far 0 for 4. How about kindness?
He's got no. He's not even kind to his own wife. That's why she left. You know, he's going to turn around and try and muddy the waters with that one and say, oh, no, I was very kind to her and all the rest of it. But, hey, she didn't leave because you were that kind. She left because you were not kind and you have no patience and you have no peace, right? And she had enough. That's why she left. So we've got proof and evidence there that none of those traits he possesses, absolutely none whatsoever, right?
Mm-hmm. How about goodness?
So, and goodness, throw that one in here. Yeah. No, he's got none of that.
Just look at the picture, the 2 pictures below, and you decide for yourself whether he's got any goodness.
Yeah, he's vengeful too, vengeful, right? You can see he's got 2 pictures. One, there's fire, then he's got the fire with you in it. And he's dictating, right? He's basically saying like, oh, I know the mind of God and I know where you're going, right?
Not only that, is that he's got a picture of me dying, looking exactly as I am right now, which means I'm going to die pretty soon. Because if I get 20 years older, I'm not going to look like that.
Exactly. You know, he's basically he's trying to jump inside of the mind of God and say you're going to hell. It's like no, he doesn't get to decide, right? But based on Galatians 5 to 19 to 23, all of these things up the top on the first paragraph.
He's like, you know what he's like? He's like Rand Campbell on steroids.
He's like Rand Campbell on drugs. Right? And then if Hillbilly doesn't take drugs, Hillbilly, if you don't take drugs, you've got to get on drugs to fix yourself up, right?
That's a very good point.
And then we've got gentleness. Well, hey, there's nothing gentle about him. He's a fucking monster, right? He's look at this on the next paragraph. The next line, I should say. And self-control. He's got no self-control, none whatsoever. His bladder is so fucking weak, right? He pisses himself all the fucking time, spewing it out of his mouth. No self-control whatsoever.
Guys, do you think that Christian Hillbilly has any friends, like in real life, that he goes and hangs out with? Or
yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, they make believe friends. Like, for instance, like what would happen is, say, like when he goes to church, right? Because they all have to walk into the same building, right? They all have to be friends. You know, they can't have outbursts in the pews. You know, so they're all praying together and yada yada yada, and then they go outside and they go, oh, it's a nice sunny day and fucking, oh yeah, I planted some fucking roses on the weekend, blah blah blah, all that bullshit. But you know what? They all go their separate ways. That's why they all go to their own homes. So they're not really friends. It's like me going to a pub and saying, oh, they're all my friends in here. It's like no. The only thing you got in common is you're all drinking alcohol together. Apart from that, you probably don't even fucking, you don't like yourselves, right? You don't like the other person at the other end of the bar. You don't like those people over there. That's what Hillbilly, that's so-called friends.
Yeah, one of those people in one of those churches, one of those congregations in America goes to church and he's all happy and alpha and giggly and pastory and preachy and pious and la la la, and then when he leaves his brethren, he comes home and he gets on to hang out with atheists, with Gnostic atheists, and he turns into a hateful monster.
Oh yeah.
What is
jealousy, outbursts of anger, right? All of those things up the top, outbursts of anger all the time.
You know, it doesn't stop there. It also says other sins like these, right? So, so that doesn't stop there. I mean, we can come up with other sins like these that he is committing, even right now, just by watching us. He's committing it.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah.
Is he watching us right now?
Who knows? We'll put it this way: he could be watching us, but then if you said to him, "Are you watching?" he would turn around and say, "No, I'm not." So therefore, he's guilty of another thing, lying. You know, that's the 9th commandment, lying.
I've sent him the link, so he could be watching it. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know, he lies through his teeth, right? He can't help himself. He has to fucking lie. Lying for Jesus. That's what I say.
Well,
lying
every time he says God says or God should or you should, because God, every time he mentions God, he's lying. He's lying as untruthful a lie you can possibly come up with every single time.
Yeah, he has to lie. He has to lie. It's inbred into him, because if he doesn't lie, you know, then he's got no excuse. See, so he has to say, no, I didn't do it. I didn't do this, and that's not a tattoo. Well, I don't know what he calls that thing on his arm, but you know, put it this way: any tattooist who's ever fucking put a tattoo on it, anybody in the world would say that is a fucking tattoo. Right, and he says, no, it's not a fucking tattoo. What does he call it? Not a painting. He calls it something else just to get out of it. You know, like going, no, it's not a tattoo.
Somehow the Christians have a get out of jail card free with tattoos, because I noticed that MK has a new one, but it's on his head. He's got a cross tattooed onto his head, onto his forehead.
Right.
Now, he's seriously Christian, and if tattoos were not Christian kosher, then I would presume he wouldn't have a cross tattooed on any part of his body, let alone on something that you can't miss ever. His face.
That's amazing, isn't it amazing?
If you go to his channel now, he's live. You can see.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so Hillbilly, you're guilty of these charges, right? According to your Bible, though, right?
Yes.
According to your own book, okay? I don't have to abide by it, because I don't believe in any of this nonsense, but you do, right? And the very fact that you believe it, you have to abide by it, and you're not, right? So, you know, these outbursts of anger, you know, the quarreling, the jealousy, the hostility, all of it, right? You're guilty, right? So you better read this passage, Hillbilly, right? Read it, you know, over and over and over and over. You know, you should change your ways, Hillbilly, because, you know, the way you're going to be the first one in hell, which I don't believe there is, by the way, but if there was, you're the first one in there, right?
That is the whole crux of it. Whether there is or whether there isn't, okay? He specifically believes that there is a hell, okay? Let's say, for his sake, that there is a hell, okay? Now, I am going there, we've all decided, because, you know, I've broken all these rules. But we've also decided that Christian Hillbilly has broken all these rules as well. So, so what's the point of him telling me that I'm going to hell?
Here's what you don't understand. Here's what you don't understand is under Christian Hillbilly's, you know, mindset, right? You know, even though he's sinned and he's fucked up and he's done all this shit, he still gets a free pass because he's been saved and he's accepted Jesus, you know? That's why he doesn't have to go. You know, I mean, he's breaking all the same rules as you, but he doesn't have to go to hell because he believes in, you know, the fucking Sky Fairy.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, well, that doesn't pass muster. Sorry, that doesn't work. Because he's still. That's not what I'm reading in the book. I'm reading that you either you know, you got a pure heart and you do all these good things, or you're a big piece of shit like Christian Hillbilly and you're going to go to hell.
Yeah, well, that's not
tradition is true.
You know,
He's got
Christian.
that- Yeah.
Under Christian theology, morality has nothing to do with whether or not you have a good afterlife or a bad afterlife. It matters what you believe to them. You know what I mean? That's what decides your fate. It's what you believe, not what you do.
Okay, well, the fact that he's annoying us after being asked to stop, doesn't that mean that he's not being a true Christian? He's not showing love and all that other stuff?
Oh no, I mean, as far as a Christian, no, he's not. He's not sharing the Christian attributes that he, you know, supposedly wants to uphold and say is what's right. No. Like he's not upholding a moral character.
Okay, but that's okay. But we're talking specifically the Christian morality that he preaches. That's what we're talking about.
Oh no. Yeah, he does not uphold that same morality or that same standard.
No, he doesn't. So let's judge Christian Hillbilly on a different standard then. Let me introduce a different standard to judge Christian Hillbilly on.
Okay.
Does Christian Hillbilly live in any way according to the 11 satanic rules of the earth?
Oh no, not at all.
Okay, so
the
now
first one right off the bat, I can tell you he doesn't follow the first one. Do not give opinions or advice unless you are asked. I mean, he preaches whether or not he's asked all the time. You know, he'll come into a hangout and completely derail the conversation with his own advice that we should repent and all that.
right.
But I mean, you know, he does it whether or not anyone asks him to. You know.
Right,
So the
so-
second one, do not tell your troubles to others unless you're sure they want to hear them. I don't know about that one. Maybe Bulldog would know a little bit more. I never heard him really talk about his own problems.
Okay, we just move through these and just because, like I say, he's already broken the first one, so
Yeah.
he's already a bad citizen or earthling.
He's a bad Satanist, you know. When in another's layout, show them respect, or else do not go there. I mean, he doesn't show us respect when he comes in our
He does
hangout.
not show us any respect in here. No, he barges in you like a bully.
If a guest in your lair annoys you, treat them cruelly and without mercy. I don't think I've never been in a hangout of his.
Oh, he'll
So I
just
don't
kick
know how
you.
he treats
Yeah, no,
He'll just treat you. Oh, okay. Well, he's got that one down.
The thing
He's
is,
got number.
no, he treats him cruelly and without mercy. But the only thing that he gets annoyed about is because you won't listen, you won't accept his point of view. That annoys him, so he kicks you out.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got number 4 down.
Whereas when he's in here, he overtalks and he barges and he filibusters and he just shows no respect.
Do not make sexual advances unless you're given the mating signal. I don't know much about his love life.
No,
Not too sure about
he's always coming on to us with his innuendo and his suggestions and stuff like that. He's a very sick man.
Mm-hmm. Do not take which does not belong to you unless it is a burden to the other person and they cry out to be relieved. Not sure about that one. Acknowledge the power of magic. Well, yeah, he does believe in magic, so I mean, I guess he's got number 7 down. Do not complain about anything.
What are you talking about? You didn't even read the whole thing. You read a half a sentence and then you said, you see that's another failing that Christians. Sorry, I don't want to say anything about you, but the Christians really fall down here, especially when it comes to anything that we are giving them. They'll read the first four words of a 2-word paragraph or statement, and they'll make their judgment, their conclusion right then and there, and dismiss it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you wouldn't at the end of reading it, but you probably won't.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, yeah, number 8.
Do not complain about anything to which you need not subject yourself.
Right, look, so he's complaining that I'm not a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
even though he himself? Yeah.
So is it any of his business? Is it any of his business?
Yeah. Do not harm little children.
Oh, he traumatizes little children. He
screams at them in the street.
He teaches kids in the schools. He says he teaches them creation. He teaches them that God's going to send them to hell if they don't believe in Him. Horrible.
He works in a school. What the fuck?
Yes,
does he do?
yes.
He's a teacher.
Well, he claims to be a teacher, so I'm going to believe him.
Jesus Christ. Do not kill non-human animals unless you are attacked or for your food. I'm not sure about that one. I don't know what he does in his spare time. Is he a hunting man? Does he hunt?
I don't think so.
Okay. When walking in open territory, bother no one. If someone bothers you, ask them to stop. If they do not stop, destroy them.
I think he's too cowardly.
Yeah.
But he does bother. You see, when he goes out preaching, street preaching, he breaks that rule right there. When walking in open territory, bother no one. If you're walking in open territory and you're street preaching at people, you're bothering them.
Yeah, you are bothering them. No one wants to fucking hear that.
Right. So, poor old Hillbilly. He's just a nothing. Mm-hmm. All right, let me get back to the other graphic, I guess.
Where did Down and all them go?
I don't know.
How long do you think it took him to Photoshop all that shit? The Photoshop you burning in hell? Like, how long do you think it took him to do that?
Not very long, because he did one, and which wasn't me. It was somebody else. Just a very crude one, but he misspelled my name in the text at the bottom. So then he put this one together, and it wasn't very long after I told him that he's sending about the spelling mistake, that he went and he changed it to that one. Not long.
I mean, still though, it's like, how depraved do you have to be to take fucking time out of your day to, make some cruel picture like that in Photoshop?
Especially when you're a Christian, right?
Yeah. Like, don't you have better shit to do?
Well, this is the thing.
I'm saying, like, that's what I'm wondering. Like, does Christian Hillbilly even have a life outside of, his desire to fucking debate people?
Well,
like,
here's my take.
For fun?
Here's my take. You know how annoying he is when he comes in here and barges in and filibusters and takes over and pretends to, Yahoo, what a wonderful day. You know how annoying as fuck that is?
Yeah.
Well, I bet you he's like that with everybody in real life all the time. And nobody can handle it for more than 5 seconds. So, he's got nowhere to go. So he comes here. And look what happens to him. He gets roasted. He just gets verbally roasted when he walks in here.
Mm-hmm.
So is Bulldog still around?
He left for a little bit.
All right. So this will probably be good enough. And
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Yeah, this is a good point to end this presentation. of Christian Hillbilly. I do expect a response, Christian Hillbilly, of some sort. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Goodbye. I'm just going to leave it live until I know that it's come through, because I don't know about these delays and stuff anymore. All right, that's it. It came through.